Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucking gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello! Well, I'm What If Study, and today we are continuing What If Deku was the survivor of of 1A. We open up at the hospital that Toga was taken to. It was sort of a ghetto hospital. After all, her criminal background stopped her from going to a professional one. However, it was the best that you could get without a background check. So, Toga, while in the ER, Deku spent his time aimlessly wandering around the halls, trying to get his mind under control. After all of that, it was going crazy. His part of him that even Ojiro commanded was saying that he should stick by her side through it all, and actually pointed straight down the hallway. However, once he turned the corner, it wasn't Toga's bedroom. It was a different one. It was one where someone's mother was laying on the bench. They say that she her heart was broken. Her last name, Ojiro. Suri Ojiro. He walks over to her bed. Her subtle beauty is also complemented by her blonde and lavished hair. It seeps down into her very, over-sexualized body, you might say. But Deku feels nothing but brotherly bond with this woman. You cannot even consider her a girl. No, this is a woman, by all definitions. He picks up a flower that one of the he calls out to nature, basically, using Koja's power. He didn't think of Koja's death, though, so Koda didn't leave him. So one of the birds brings him a flower, tulip, and one brings him a sunflower, and another brings him a rose. The three different main colors of the color scheme. Interesting that they thought of this. As he picks all of those up and puts them on the chest of this woman, and then takes his leave. As all the nurses notice him walking out of it, his sort of destroyed UA outfit that he had changed into from his hero outfit. It was subtle. However, it had two straps over his arms, and he was basically using a suit at that point. However, no black jacket over, and with overalls. So basically, he looked like a gangster in a little ways. His red and white eyes were noticeable by any point that you looked at him. When walking down a hallway, he fills it with the feeling of death that you get. However, everybody at the hospital couldn't notice. After all, it was so deep that, it was average for a hospital. People rushed by him as nobody even cared about Toga. He makes his way down to the ER once more after a few days. As he sat down trying to contain the voices, however, he learns to just embrace them, kind of allowing them to take over his body once in a while. When he meets Toga again, he's not his usual self. Mineta takes a little bit of control. However, Ojiro is also there, as Ojiro feels a sisterly bond, as Toga looks almost pretty much the same as his sister, his older sister. He takes up Toga's hand as he rests his head upon her chest. He says, "Please wake up. I need you. You're my star, my everything right now. I don't have anybody else. I'm a sad, pathetic human being. Please, wake up. This is all my fault." However, Momo pitches in, saying, You shouldn't feel so bad for yourself." Bakugo also chimes in, saying, "Yeah, and you can't stay here forever, idiot. Come on. What about being the top one hero? What about what we want?" "Screw what you want, Bakugo. I can't be the top hero and love a villain. No one can do that. Even normal heroes. No, you're wrong, Deku. Sure, you may love this girl, but trust me, those feelings will fade. You are but a child still. I have aged, Bakugo. I've aged so much. My mental capabilities are insane. At least that's what my brainwave, quirk user said down in the underground. Who said that I had an insane amount of mental activity going on, almost 27 different personalities inside my brain. What says that I'm not old enough? My physical form? No, I'm far than old enough to complicate love. Maybe it's a sisterly bond, a sister and brother. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is. But that girl, I can't let her out of my sight. Allow me to stay then. As Mineta, comes forward, but Ojiro puts his hand on Mineta's shoulder as he says, "Don't worry about him. I'll stay too." As he says, "You guys can leave my body?" Though the manifestations of our quirks, at least. We can stay God in spirit form. As Deku considers this for a second and then says, "Fine." As his bloodied eye starts to bleed, and that blood starts to seep down from his shoulder and cover the left side of his shirt, and then seep out from his shirt, coagulate and form into a monstrous being of shadow and blood. Two of them, one short and one tall, which formed into Ojiro and Mineta. They looked so soulless that it was insane. It was uncanny. It was almost like he was face to face with Kirigiri once more. They looked up to him and nodded as they stood guard next to Toga. He says, "Ojiro, make sure Mineta doesn't get any funny business." As Ojiro nods, Deku leaves the hospital, making his way into the city. In the gigantic city, bigger than he could have imagined before, it seemed like it had grown too big for him. He had regretted having to come here, however, he had to. It was his duty. He makes his way downtown as people are like, "Wait a minute, is that?" No, it couldn't be possibly. As multiple people and some girls take photos of him, posting it on, all their socials. "Oh my god, is that Deku?" As, everybody starts whispering, as it's been almost a year since the accident. Deku starts to remember all the hallways in UA. Every single part of the classroom, the 1A. He opens up the doors, the gigantic ones. Classic. As he sees the rest, every single one of their seats, all the ghost starts to seep into their seats, as he can see them perfectly now. Every single parts of their faces lining up and going to their class and submitting their homework to Aizawa, and him getting so mad. And then he remembered. What about Aizawa? Isn't he supposed to be dead? my god. As Deku flips around, hearing that voice. Is that you, Deku? No, it's just another vision. Get over yourself, Aizawa. As he goes over to the desk, slumped over, even more tired than he had looked before. His voice had lost a part of its humaneness from before. It seemed that he didn't take my advice. Sir, I'm actually here. He says, yeah, just get over what you're trying to say. You won't leave until you're done. No, I'm serious. Sir, I'm here. Like, I survived. You always say this, but... Healing Granny as she walks in and says, "Oh my god, is that Deku?" As she puts up her hand to his face and touches him, as she freaks out, saying, "Oh my god, what the hell? You're alive!" As he says, "Yes, well, it would seem that way." He looks down, brushing himself off from all the dust that had collected over the years. Aizawa looks up, saying, "What? I won't fall for that." However, she's like, "No, it's real. He's here. He's standing right in front of you." As Deku takes steps forward, looking into Aizawa's eyes, saying that, "I'm here. Everybody else is also with us. Their souls around us, cheering us on to continue life. How do you think I stayed alive?" As Aizawa actually sheds one single tear. He almost sheds a second before he covers his face. However, Deku says, "Please, Aizawa, for everybody in my mind, can I have one simple request?" Aizawa says, "Yes, what could it possibly be, Deku?" "Anything. Can I have a hug for everybody?" As, Aizawa's like, "This is kind of embarrassing, but after all you've probably been through, I guess I can give you it." As Aizawa, shyly opens up his eyes, as Aizawa actually closes his, Deku hugs into the cold arms of Aizawa. However, his hands, they were so warm, he could feel his heartbeat faster and faster. As then Deku opens his eyes to see every classmate around him, happy, seeing everybody come in for the gigantic hug, and even Bakugo embarrassingly being thrown into the crowd as Momo throws him into it. And then she jumps into the dog pile also, hugging, as they all share laughs. I wish you could see all of this, Aizawa. It's so beautiful. As Aizawa and him just start bawling their eyes out, as, freaking All Might comes in and he's like, "It's Deku!" And everybody else starts to come there. You get the point. Basically, it's after that, Deku's accepted back into the college exam to UA as the only student of UA, of 1A. Everybody in 1B is just nervous by this point that they'll be hunted down too. However, Deku finds them in the hallway, as they're all talking, and rumors start to spread around him, all this stuff, as they start to talk about how he was talking about, spirits and stuff, and he's like, "It's true. I see them." As, the kid that's able to mind control people with just his voice kid. Let's just call him Voice Kid. He's like we'd believe something like that. Don't even try it. I know you have your quirk. It's all for ones, right? Oh, shit. He doesn't know that. What am I talking about? It's just some sort of strength quirk, isn't that right? I lost my quirk that day. Bullshit. No one can lose their quirk. The villains, they have invented a way to steal one, but that's not even how I lost it. You see my quirk. As he starts to, he basically walked into a classroom at this point. He starts drawing on the board about how his quirk used to work. He draws the podiums, the different parts of his mind, and he gets to the 8th one. Instead of having the decision making, it's actually the quirk that has taken place in his body. And it says that 7 successors, basically. Each one of them taking up a huge part of his decision making and his quirk. All 7 of these people would decide unanimously on stuff to do, and that would take a huge influence on his mind. Now, when the villains came, and they killed everyone in front of him in brutal fashion, those people had broken. They had left him out of hopelessness and returned back to their original places. As, the mind control kid raises up his hands and says, "And where would that be?" He's very skeptical of this. As Deku says, "That's classified." As he says, "Bullshit!" Oh? Well, let's just say heaven or some shit. What? What do you want from me, kid? I'm not here to be nanny. To play nanny or some shit. I'm here because you asked me to be. Now sit your ass down and listen for 5 seconds. As he shuts the hell up and just forces himself down. And Deku continues on saying that those people were replaced by his teammates that were died. Every single one of the podiums had been split up among the students. However, since they had basically completely destroyed the podiums, they had replaced it with a sort of almost a vote. Instead of an oligarchy, this is a democracy where all of them vote on decisions in his life. And it was almost like governments were taking up place in his mind, that he was losing control, and that he had developed a split mind personality where his stuff can be decided by certain teammates. They can be deployed, or they can, help him by giving him their quirk for a little while. However, for them to give him the quirk, it's a less powerful version, and also it shows him, while using it, how they had died. Every single part of it, every single gruesome example was made of them. Was done in front of him, too. Not only that, but the ones that were killed in secret, seeing their deaths, it's, as you can imagine, too much. Alright, lesson over. Deku returns back to his mind as he stops from his deep monologue and walks out of the classroom. The teacher just absolutely stunned, just like eyes open, just on the couch, like, what the hell kind of mind? What is happening with that kid? Anyways, after that point, Deku's kind of like, everybody's like, how the hell is this kid going to make it past that? And Aizawa starts training him personally to become the top 1 hero. And finally, All Might, comes to him finally once more. And he says that, he's going to start training again, and he's going to become the top 1 hero. He has to be. No one else can. He's the final person that was in line for it. All Might says to him in secret, however, that, his quirk is gone. He doesn't know what happened to it, but he gave it to Mirio. And Deku asked to see this Mirio person. He's shown down to the lower ranks where, all the Year 3 students were. and meets Mirio for the first time. And I think I'll be leaving it off on that. I'll see you guys in the next video. This is a great What If. I hope that you all will love it just as much as me. Goodbye.